Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I apologize. I don't have my mic on me. I'm probably going to get it tomorrow. A few other things. Uh, Thanks to the Prion collection on Instagram for just sharing some of my or sharing a screenshot of my channel, and I just got a bunch of Instagram followers, and I got some new YouTube followers as well, so thank you. And on Thursday, I'm tentatively I'll be doing a YouTube live stream, my first one with Ziggy No YouTube handle, and hopefully it should go down. Also, oh yeah, and yeah, let's get into the topic. So I've been talking a lot about Karl Marx and his bankruptcy, and it appeared that PSA would be sending the cards out to the customers, but I was just doing a little digging and saw some videos on YouTube, and it looks like there's a halt to PSA giving these cards back to their customers. Uh, and the reason is there's going to be a court decision determining, okay, who is the owner of these assets. So I've told you when I was at a marketing company, I believe our AP department sent funds to a company that was bankrupt. I think it was done on accident. And that company, well, they were forced to keep those funds because of a bankruptcy proceeding. And that money, I don't believe, was given to us, given back to us. So when there's a bankruptcy proceeding, guess what? Who are the cards belonging to? And I brought that up probably a few months ago. I was like, okay, there could be a situation where there was going to be a decision whether those assets, those cards that Karl Marx had, were his. And if they are considered his based on a court ruling, then those individuals who sent their cards to him, well, they're out of luck because it's going to go to the creditors. And that's going to really stink if those individuals lose out their cards. And I always talk about this phrase, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Now, if you have a few $100s and you end up losing your cards because the judge says that no, those cards are actually belonging to Karl, right? Rather than the individual who sent the cards to Karl. But that being said, in the next few years, you're going to see more vaults come about. There's already vaults where people they just buy the card on a platform, and then instead of taking delivery of it, they just keep it in that vault, and then if a sale happens, then they don't have to pay any additional fees, and that card gets shipped out to the new buyer, and then that buyer pays for the shipping, probably via USPS. And this model works fine. You know, it works fine thus far for Comp C, but the thing is, Comp C has been in business, so you don't have to worry about it for now. But regardless of whatever company you place your cards at, you have to wonder, if you put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, one risk of doing so is it is not in your possession. It is in someone else's possession. And if they were to go bankrupt, or if they were to have a situation like Star Stock had to lay off a bunch of individuals, and I don't know the status of how the cards are being delivered, But if you laid off a bunch of people, the process is going to be slower for you to retrieve your cards. So that's just one aspect of, hey, if you keep your cards with somebody else, guess what? Um, it's in their own hands. It's not in your hands. You don't have control. If you had control, you could go to the post office the next day and send it out. But somebody else, well, you're depending on somebody else to do that. And like I said, I don't expect any hanky panky to go on for some of these bigger companies. And I've mentioned this before, but I've talked about problems that I see in the economy. And I would not be surprised if we see something crazy in the next few years, like 2008. I'm going to talk more about it on my finance channel, but just a little bit now. I mean, just look at the yield curve with the fives and the tens, the 5 year and the 10 year, that's inverted. I believe the 7 and the 10 year is inverted as well. And if not, it's flat. And for an economy to function, you need to have an upward sloping yield curve. You do have that right now. With, the Fed funds rate is less than the 10 year note, but I'm just looking out a couple of years from now. Our system is fragile, and the whole thing implodes like 2008. It's going to be wild, as some famous person said a few years back. It is definitely going to be wild, in my opinion. Hopefully, I am 100% wrong, but I don't know. Some of the indicators I'm looking at don't look good. Even though I'm bullish right now, short term, in the markets, I don't know. I'm just still iffy about this. And, if you have a $400, $500, speculating in some of these fractionals, or if you have $400, $500 in a vault and you're middle class Joe, I don't think that's going to matter, okay? It's going to be more of if you put an excess amount, maybe thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and you don't have, or you're just a middle class Joe, I mean, you may be putting yourself at risk in the next few years. Not now, in my opinion, unless the company you put it in, is really doing a crappy job. Just make sure wherever you put your cards in and you have a substantial amount in those vaults, if you're using that, make sure to look at the insurance contract and how it's structured. Because, some of these insurance policies are crappy, right? They say it's insured and secured, right? But what does the fine print say? That's something to note if you have a lot of money in that. Oh, the other thing is that, people used to laugh when I used to say that, hey, if you don't own it, you don't hold it. But after the situation with Karl Marx, Karl Marx's business model was based on, down in the DM. When you see things like this implode, people think twice. Now people are a little more receptive to what I'm saying. And in my opinion, do whatever you want, just to understand the risks that you're taking in regards to, hey, you're putting your cards in a vault and you're putting tens of thousands of dollars in a vault. You do that, you got to understand what you're doing and the risks you're taking. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.